Hi, and welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is today I'm going to be talking about DGLY, Digital Ally Incorporations. This company here has seen a massive jumps after some riots and protests into bringing in police reform. Now, the last time it has seen something like this was in a previous riot, I think. Let's look into the 5 years. Okay, it's not showing much here, but anyway, let's go on to assessing this stock. So going from 1 year here, you can see that the stock has been quiet for a while, but it has taken a jump into the recent riots in the States. So looking into around 6 months first, or actually let's do just 3 months, one day. We can see a couple of things here that are a bit more mixed signals, but however, I'm gonna try to go on assess as much as I can to show a little bit of what the glimpse is for the next move for the stock. So first things first, you can see the MACD is becoming in a more of a dangerous level, and the stock is really in need of a PR. Otherwise, it might just go on towards the negative side, and it might suffer. Now, next thing here is William percent R. The William percent R is going to bit more towards the oversold part. So the oversold part, that's a bit of a good situation for us here, where more people probably are going to buy in order to balance that William percent R. Average directional index is a little bit too high. I usually prefer it to be below 45. So it's a little bit too high for my liking. Volumes are dropping compared to all the spikes that we've seen before. In terms of the unbalanced volume is a little bit too high and it hasn't seen a drop yet. So that means that you got quite a bit of bag holders still there. Taking a look into different supports, I can see here that there's support around 407 here. And there's a resistance around 543. So the pivot point around 595. So that's basically the range it's going for. Now the stock is in a trader action zone, and that means it might see a reversal later on, sometime soon, because I see that the trading action zone is actually increasing, and reversals are more likely in the trading action zone. Next thing we're gonna go for is a little bit of a closer look into the 5 days 1 hour. You get to see that this MACD is declining towards perhaps a negative day for the next day on Monday. So that may be a little bit dangerous, but you can see that it has had a bit of a nice run, at least in the last day. But what we're seeing here is very similar to what we saw here. So you can see the resemblance, and you can see the MACD, and it's very much almost identical in terms of the William percent R and MACD. So that might be a red signal for me. However, let's look into the trend lines. So the trend lines I try to draw through the support, so I recognize that there probably is perhaps support here. This one looks like it might be a weak support around this region. This one is a support, but I could not get it into the trend line. But this one as well is a support, so it's a little bit of a tough situation. However, I can also draw it something where it's looking like this. So it's kind of below the trend lines in a way. Now, if we were looking into resistances, you might have an ascending triangle. That's just based on technical point of view, but you have to assess for a lot of these stocks, what's the psychology behind this. So what's the psychology is they're looking for a catalyst. The expectation now is that there's going to be a reform with major body cams, and everyone is required to wear a body cam. Now, from my point of view, is that's a little bit priced in. However, if the governments or states start implementing perhaps mandatory body cameras, you might see a raise in the stock for this company here. That's been my view. For me, I'm not more comfortable trading at a stock that traded around 0.78 cents and now is around $4, because it is really close to its 52-week high compared to its 52-week low. And let's say if it reaches 52-week low, I'll be risking a lot of money. So at this point, the stock might well as trade for fundamentals rather than technical analysis, but it probably will see a drop, perhaps maybe not next week, the week after, if there's no PR regarding maybe perhaps new orders or something of that sort. That's been my opinion. Now, do your own DD. Subscribe, like, share, and comment, and let me know if you have any questions below. I'm usually very fast at them. Have a good day.